Hello, my fellow handicappers. This is Weekend Handicapper from weekendhandicapper.com. In this video, we are going to look at what bets to make on Breeders' Cup Day. Before we do, if you want to learn how to bet on horses and how to make money betting on horses, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can get all the latest tips, tools, and resources to help you win money on thoroughbred horse racing. And you also have access to the Breeders' Cup playlist that I'm compiling, in which will have a lot of videos that will pertain to the Breeders' Cup and how to win money on the Breeders' Cup. All right, so the Breeders' Cup. There is not a better day of racing, year in and year out, than the Breeders' Cup. Far as the competition, the money that can be made, the odds that you get on the horses, it's just phenomenal. And for a couple reasons. One is the field size. Unlike a lot of racing days where you don't have many horses racing in each race, you might get 5, 6, 7 horses. Breeders' Cup, everybody wants to be in a Breeders' Cup race, and therefore you'll get a lot of horses in each of those races. So it's just wonderful to be betting on a race that has that many contenders. And not only that, you have contenders that have a shot. Almost all horses in Breeders' Cup races have a shot to win or factor in to some super payouts. And so it's always wise to save some of your bankroll every year or put certain funds just to bet on the Breeders' Cup. You know, might as well skip a ho-hum weekend or a race at your local track maybe and use those funds for the Breeders' Cup, because you have the potential to really make some really good money on those Breeders' Cup races. Because, again, the field size and the quality of horses. When you have quality horses and large number of horses in the race, that means the odds are dispersed a lot more than they would on a normal race day. You don't have many heavy favorites. You do every now and then in Breeders' Cup races, but your favorite could be 5-2, 3-1, sometimes 7-2 in Breeders' Cup races. So it is worth your while. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to win Breeders' Cup races and handicap Breeders' Cup races, but it could be potentially lucrative. All right, so those are the reasons why you should bet on the Breeders' Cup. Now, what kind of bets to make on the Breeders' Cup? Well, you have a plethora of bets to make. You got your standard win, place, show bets. You got pretty much any wager that you want. And again, it's usually your straight wagers, win, place, show. Then your verticals. That is like your exactas, your trifectas, superfectas, pentafectas, where you try to get all 5 in. I think they have that on the Breeders' Cup, but for sure, superfectas. Then your multi-race wagers that are a lot of favorites of fans of horse racing. Those are your doubles, pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 6s. Now, which one's the bet? Well, typically, every year, you find value in pretty much every race with every wager. So even if you just stick to win bets, you're going to get good odds on your horses. Now, that doesn't solve the problem or answer the question of what bets to make. So here's what I would suggest. And it's like this with most race days, but it's particularly true with Breeders' Cup. Stick to what you know best, what you're good at, what wagers have worked for you, and amplify them on Breeders' Cup Day. There's going to be a lot of value in multi-race wagers. So your doubles, pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 6s. If you can find that 1 or 2 long shot of a horse that most of the other wagering public doesn't have, then if you hit those wagers, you're going to have a good day at the track at Breeders' Cup. But also, if you are good at vertical wagers, so exactas, trifectas, superfectas, and you hear me talk about specializing all the time. So if you have a wager that you're really good at, where you just pinpoint, you got one race figured out, that you know how the pace is going to run, what horses should run huge in that race, well, then put a lot of your money, your bankroll, on those particular races. So you usually have generalists that like to play multi-race wagers, and you have specialists that like one, every now and then playing a race instead of playing every single race, trying to string together a bunch of winners. But each one of them is lucrative. I know multi-race wagers on big race days seem to do really well. And sometimes the exactas, sometimes the trifectas, sometimes superfectas can get kind of formful if logical horses run, in those orders, but not necessarily so in Breeders' Cup. So the simple answer, there's no one simple answer to what bets to make. It's just whatever bets that you are confident in making and whatever is your strong suit. So if you hardly ever pick 3 tickets, pick 4 tickets out all year long, then you can look at it 2 ways. Maybe this is the race day to take a shot and try to string together some winners in those Breeders' Cup races, or keep doing what you've been doing and stick to those bets that you normally make. Because no matter what you bet on Breeders' Cup, you are going to have an opportune time to cash and make a lot of money. So before you bet and make out those wagers, think to yourself, what bets am I usually good at? What bets do I have a strong feel for? Do I like several races in a row? If so, then maybe bet those multi-race wagers. If you're not sure about this race, but you really like this race and you think it got to figure it out, well, then try to crush that one race. So that's a good way to look at it, because no matter what, you're going to get paid. Now, having said all that, if your temperament, your emotions can only handle win, place, or show, then there is no shame in that, because you're probably going to get a lot of value on Breeders' Cup races. If you like this horse and it's going off at good odds, then stick to win, place, and show, because a profit is a profit. Profit is a profit, and I know we like to swing for the fences and try to cash in big on big race days like the Breeders' Cup. But if you're more comfortable betting horses to win, place, or show, especially in the win position, because you're going to get some good odds. So whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you're good at and whatever you specialize in, whatever wagers that you have found success in, that's the wagers you need to make on Breeders' Cup Day, the biggest, richest day of racing typically each year. And one way to see what kind of bets that you are good at is a couple ways. If you keep your own records, like an Excel spreadsheet or something, it keeps track of what wagers you've done well at or how much money you've lost certain wagers. That's one way. But a lot of your online wagering accounts should have a betting history where you can look up that report and see how well you do with each of those wagers, if you won some money or if you lost. So that's a good way to pinpoint how well you're doing with certain wagers. A lot of times we think we're really good at exactas, but you pull up that data and it doesn't match up, right? I remember one time I thought I was doing good at exactas because I had a couple nice hits with exactas, but when I looked at the data, it said otherwise. But it showed I was in the positive with doubles, so I kept firing away at doubles, and that proceeded to be pretty good for me. All right, so play to your strength, play to the wagers that you're comfortable making and you have had good success with, and try to capitalize on Breeders' Cup Day. All right, so hopefully this helps. Like I said, you subscribe to this channel, Weekend Handicapper, weekendhandicapper.com. Be looking for those playlists so you can get some more tutorials and get ready for Breeders' Cup and any other big race day. And so you can crush it and make a lot of money, hopefully, by betting one of the best days of racing that thoroughbred horse racing has each and every year. All right. And until next time, happy handicapping, smart wagering.